everyone, what's up? So the Atlas Skill Tree, those farming strategies that I've been sharing with you guys for the past few leagues has been updated. Alright, I'll go through, and this round I have 4 strategies for you to progress from league start all the way to your end budget. Okay, so yeah, first up we have the league start Atlas progression. I think most of you are always coming here, especially this portion, to see how you can progress your Atlas really quickly. So there are various and different checkpoints. I will pull up the PoE planner to show you. And first up, we have the Kirak map progression. Okay, this is checkpoint number 1. Basically, I feel this is a must to take at the start. Okay, so this is how it looks like. It's literally, like I always say every day, it's literally like a stick man just folding his arms at the side. Yeah. So I have a few feedbacks previously, like why do we actually take 2 nodes here instead of 1? It's because eventually we are going to take the shrine, so you do not want to waste any respect points or all about making over here. Okay, everything is very precious at the start. So your progression at the start for the Atlas, like it is, to me it is mandatory that you always need to have this. Alright, otherwise you are going to have a really difficult time to progress your Atlas because you will never ever get your maps 1 tier higher. Okay, it is really very important for this, so take note. Okay, I am going to close. So this is the first checkpoint. Alright, the second checkpoint will be Harbinger. Okay, so why Harbinger is basically it gives you the currencies to reroll your maps. Orb of Alchemy, Orb of Horizon, Orb of Binding, stuff like that. They are very important currencies for you to upkeep or sustain your map so that you will progress much easier. Alright, so basically you just branch out to the Harbinger nodes over here and also over here. Really nothing special. Okay, this is the next most important one. And third will be Shrine. So why the shrine is over here is because at this point, right, probably you will start to progress to yellow maps. Okay, you should be on yellow maps already at this point of time. Okay, and once you go into yellow maps, things will start to get a little bit difficult. Okay, monsters, your map boss, it will start to get a little bit difficult, and this is where the shrine comes in, right, to make your mapping much smoother. Okay, in terms of survivability, damage, more resistance, so on and so forth. The shrine is going to help you like for the rest of the map, unless you stop at one section or one area for too long and you run out of shrine buff and the map boss is too difficult, then I can't help you with that. Alright, and next is the Harbinger boss. Okay, so for this one, right, I would want to comment here that this is actually optional. Okay, because Harbinger boss can be really very difficult at the start. They are very painful. They are very strong, and you might actually struggle to even kill like 1/4 of it, like 1/4 of his life. Okay, so if you find it at some point that this is really too difficult and it is hindering you, please remove it. Okay, I will show you the tree. So basically you have already taken the shrine over here, which is drawn to power and syncretism, right? All you need to do is just branch out 4 more nodes to get first wave. Then again, it's not guaranteed that you have a Harbinger boss. It is a high, okay, I would say like 1 out of every 4 maps. Okay, so we also want to take into consideration for this additional Harbinger chance. Okay, and next up is Legion. Legion part 1. This will be your 5th checkpoint. Okay, why do I say Legion instead of previously I would like recommend you guys, you know, to just try any league mechanics you want. Okay, but eventually I think Legion is kind of like the go-to. Okay, the go-to mechanic that I feel it is quite brainless to take it. Why? Because the amount of loots or the variety of loots that Legion drop is just way too good. You can't compare to other mechanics. Okay, Legion drops currency. They have map rewards as well, and your emblems. The emblems is important to unlock the last slot for your map device. Okay, and yeah, they have many other stuff also, like your rare items if you haven't even finished and stuff like that. So Legion is just all around the good. Okay, even though your build might not be able to do Legion really well, but I still suggest to focus on Legion, whereby when you go in, let's say if you see a sergeant, alright, or a warhawk that has a reward icon on top of it, your main focus is always to kill those first. Okay, to literally hit those and activate those rewards first before actually clearing the rest of the Legion wave. So yeah, this is the skill tree, and we are going to take the bottom part, which is monumental, chance to get a Legion encounter, and then we're going to go right side, which is basically constant battle, more chance to get Legion. On the way, just get the Marakev. If you get the emblem, then you're lucky. And emblematic, basically chance for you to drop splinters to drop as full emblems instead. But what we really want is the chance to contain Legion over here. And of course, having more duration, as much duration as you want, is really good. Plus the chance for your sergeants to have additional reward. Okay, so sometimes you might actually see those Legion sergeants with actually 2 reward icons on their head. Okay, this is why I always recommend Legion at the start, because those 2 reward icons, right, they can be really very useful. Alright, regardless whether is it a useless reward, let's say a beast, or what other not so useful stuff that, okay, I can't remember, but all I know is the amount of times currency and maps is going to pop up is actually quite frequent, as well as the splinters. Okay, so you will really get some good stuff out of this Legion along the way, right? And then we have the Legion part 2. This is going to be our checkpoint 6. Okay, so for here, what you're gonna do is, from the Harbinger boss node, you're basically just gonna scale upwards to get logistical support and pillage or pillage treasure. Okay, whatever. Legion chests in your maps contain additional random reward. Basically, like the Legion sergeant, you're just gonna get another reward icon on top, so 2 rewards for your chest. And logistical support is basically like as shown. Okay, they are going to have 10% chance to gain 2 additional reward. So sometimes you will be able to see like the sergeants are gonna have like 3 reward icons. Okay, it is a little bit rare, but you do see it. Okay, and then connect from this point all the way to war supplies to ensure that every Legion that you encounter is going to guarantee you a warhawk. Okay, and yeah, we basically only want this because having warhawk is basically like a chest. Alright, a chest, and if you are going to hit all the Legion chests, it will basically kind of like explode, and everything around the vicinity is just going to be activated. Okay, so yep, this is for the Legion. Once you are here, most of the things will be very smooth. Okay, oh yes, there's one thing I forgot to mention, sorry. So we are not going to take the general nodes over here. I really don't see a point because the generals might be very difficult to kill. Alright, but at this point you should probably be like on red maps, and the generals can be pretty strong. So no use struggling just to get a few more splinters or emblems, and that's why I did not take them. Okay, and the last part is just going to be Searing Exarch. Okay, this is your checkpoint 7, and with the new gateway, right, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to take this alch gateway. Okay, it costs 1 point, and we are going to activate the other alch gateway, which costs another point, and you're going to connect the Searing Exarch over here. So that's going to save us a lot of points. Okay, now here comes the question, like, why Searing Exarch? Okay, Searing Exarch in general is going to give you more consistent currency, more useful currency that you are going to use to help you gain like important currencies to farm out your character. Okay, so Eater Worlds doesn't really give you good currencies. I would say Eater World is more focused on divination cards, right? Whereas Searing Exarch, the minion reward options, right? They're gonna give you like Chaos Orb. I'm not sure if there's Alchemy Orb, I can't remember, but I know there is Val Orb, and there is Awakened Sexton as well. Alright, Orb of Binding, stuff like that. They are all very useful currencies that's gonna help you sustain your maps quite easy. Okay, so that's why Searing Exarch, even though at the early stage you're not going to see Searing Exarch much often, but once you complete your atlas, right, or once you have completed this, you're trying to finish up the unique maps and stuff, you'll probably need some time, to start doing the unique maps. You need to buy them, and there's like invitations left, right? So you really need some farming space, and you might not have all of the Orb of Awakening to transit into the L and Go low budget builds. Alright. So that is why I suggest taking Searing Exarch, because at some point when you complete it, you can just continue this strategy. Okay, you can continue whatever you are doing. This tree right here is still gonna earn you a decent amount of currency because of how Legion plus Searing Exarch works. They are just very beginner friendly in the early part of the games. Okay. Right, so this readme is important. I have many players asking like, how do you even manage to finish your atlas? When I told them like I soloed the whole thing, some of them like was like, how is this even possible? Okay, so some tips and tricks over here. First up is the whole point of this is really just to help you progress your atlas more efficiently. Okay, like what I've tell all the others, progressing your atlas, right? Like finishing up your atlas is always the most important thing before you start to farm for the actual thing. Okay, because if you do not complete your atlas, right, you are going to miss out a lot of points, and all of these small little points is going to add up to how much you can actually farm. Alright, and of course then again it includes the invitations. Doing all the invitations and unlocking all your favorite map slots is going to help you sustain your maps. So these two portion, right, of importance, like the completing the atlas and doing the invitations to unlock your favorite map slot, is going to come together and help you have a proper farming strategy, which I will go through below. Right? So, yep, I completed the whole atlas multiple times solo without even buying a single map from other players. Okay. Next is, guys, whenever you pick up the Orb Horizon, you feel that particular tier of maps, there are like some that is not completed, right? Please just use the Orb of Horizon on your maps to change to whichever that you have not done. Okay, there's no point in keeping the Orb of Horizon. It is really just for your atlas progression. That's all. Really, that's all. You're not gonna keep it to craft some items or whatever. That's not how it's used. So please just use it whenever you can. The fourth is always rare your maps whenever possible. Okay, for white maps at the start, maybe you can try to make it magic because currency is very scarce at the start. Okay, and fifth, always remember to go to Kirak when you are stuck. What I mean by stuck is when you actually cannot progress into further maps. Let's say if you are stuck in tier 5 and there is no tier 6 maps, and you consistently are getting back the same maps that you have done already. Okay, this is where you go to Kirak, do his missions, and each time you complete Kirak missions, his shop is going to be refreshed. So remember to purchase all of the uncompleted maps every time. Okay, every time Kira's shop is open and available, go visit his shop, see whichever maps you have not completed, buy them. Okay, regardless whether is it Alchemy Orb or Orb of Chance, which is I think the most common currency that you will probably need to purchase is maps at the start. Just buy them. Okay, it's going to save you a lot of time. It's going to save you a lot of efficiency. It's going to be more efficient than actually you know, going to players one by one, clicking them and buying them and pinging them like, hey, can I buy this map? And sometimes, you know, you guys should know, like, the players don't reply every single time. So time wastage is not something that I'm really fond of. That's why Kira is like your best option for this. Okay, so that's it for the LS progression. I've talked too much. And once you have done with your LS progression, okay, I literally mean like at least most of the unique maps. I would say maybe 80% of the unique maps are done. You can start to respec into the low budget version of L and Go. Okay, so there is a basic skill tree. I will show you this shortly. So like I mentioned here, you can always read that. Something I want to say is, in this strategy, right, you don't really focus on farming a specific map or content, okay? Because at this point of time, I think most of the players will not have their favorite maps unlocked. Not everything. Okay? You are still on low budget. It is difficult to kill those guardians. It is difficult to do those full-fledged invitation at like low budget builds. Alright? I wouldn't say it is easy. I think most of the builds will not be able to do it other than like mines or minions probably, but yeah, it is difficult. So that's why I say you don't really focus on farming a specific map or content because it is hard to sustain maps over here. Invitations not done, which means your favorite map slot is not unlocked. And this also means, right, you will always have to do alternate or connecting maps which you want. So let's just say maybe city square. Okay, city square is maybe connected to Arto. Example. So you gotta consistently do city square and do Arto at the same time, so that because they are next to each other, they're gonna drop more often. Right? So yeah, at the start, you know, you will want to have more of the various currency as well. Like when you're not annoying those basic annoyments, you still need those basic oils, right? So encountering blight might not be so bad. It's actually quite good. Bridge will also help you get those bridge stones for your invitations as well, so on and so forth. And that is why over here, right, the stream of consciousness is not included. Okay, let me show you. So there is no stream of consciousness. We are not going to block anything. Everything we get here is money. Okay, everything we get here is currency. I don't think it is bad because, like I mentioned, this is the low budget. We are not going to focus farm on a single thing right here. It is not very viable. It's not really very realistic. You will not get the same amount of profit as when you fully focus on a proper and good LS tree. Okay, so I have a few examples of the skill tree over here. You can always click them. So before I go to that, let me just tell you like the contents that I put inside. So basically, Shrine is your first one. I think this is just a no-brainer. Shrine is going to help you with your maps, especially on red tier. It's really good. Next is Essence, okay? Because we now have Essence on our map mod device, I think the go-to for every map, unless you are farming pack size, is just Essence. It's always Essence. 3C for 3 Essence, plus this Prolific Essence. You are guaranteed to get at least 4 Essence every map. Okay? For 3C. That is very crazy because we all know how Essence work, okay? As long as there is a Shrieking Essence, which most of the time there will be a Shrieking Essence, your Essence is going to duplicate. For sure. And then with Amplified Energies, Essence are all 1 tier higher. And that's why the Shrieking Essence is always going to appear almost all of the time. And Soul Essence, I will say, is your go-to profit for every single map. Okay, even if you fail or whatever, if you have done probably at least 2 or maybe 2 or 3 Essence, okay, I will say the safety benchmark is 2 Essence, you are actually profiting in the map already. Okay, that's excluding every other thing in the map, okay? That's excluding your steering exhaust reward, maybe some good stuff or some chaos that you get that you pick up on the floor and stuff like that. That is excluding it. Essence is just that good. The only problem is the Essence monsters are really very strong. Okay, sometimes I'm pretty sure at this point you have seen like memes on Reddit. Essence can have like 7 to 8 essence, and they can be like stronger than those endgame bosses. They are really ridiculous at times. Even if I'm playing a very tanky character, you know, sometimes they can just slap really very hard. One shot from the monster essence. And yes, if you're in that situation, please, please, please don't be greedy. Okay, there are a lot of other essence later on. You can always try again. So dodge them, dodge all these crazy monsters that you encounter, and continue with your map. Okay. Um. So next, Searing Exarch versus Eater of War. Then again, I'm gonna emphasize one more last time. So basically, Searing Exarch is gonna give us better currency throughout. Okay, in the early game, like you have Chaos Orb, Chisel to make your maps 20%, Awaken Sexton, Val Orb, all of these are really really good currencies. Okay, whereas Eater Hour is dropping more towards Divination card. But then again, of course, if you would like to play with Eater Hour, you want some excitement, then by all means, okay? Alright, so yeah, here are a few of them. I'm just going to show you Legion, and the rest you can just come and click it yourself. So this is roughly how Legion is going to look like. We're going to make use of this alch gateway to actually connect to the Legion portion over here. Okay, this is going to save us probably a little bit of points. I will say actually only 1 point. Okay, this Eldritch Gateway, right, at first I thought they are really very good, but after looking at what can be connected and what cannot be connected, I think they are actually quite bad. Because it requires 2 points to connect them. Okay, so here is a very good example. Okay, it requires 2 points to connect them. Okay, so that you do not have to connect this, right? So what happens is I will only actually need to connect here, right? And I just need to take this out. That's all. That's all. So basically, if I am like working on singular focus or whatever, I can just take over here and it is the same stuff. It is the same thing. Okay, I wouldn't say it's exactly the same thing, but the amount of points that you reduce, right, is not extremely significant if you ask me. Okay, because at some point, like I mentioned, you still have to connect one another, and this is like 2 points, and the center part of the LS skill tree is always usually where it is like the most important. Okay, so yep, this is how a Legion skill tree would look like, or I would suggest. If you have more points, you can just add all the quantity nodes inside. Alright, for Expedition and Harvest, I will just leave it to you. You can actually basically just do any league content. I have the basic skill tree right here for you to start off, and yeah, you can have fun with this. Right? And next is basically your mid and high budget builds. So what this strategy is, right, is when you have transited or you have become much stronger by investing, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 divine, okay, in your build, and you are ready to take on stronger monsters. This is where this strategy come in. Okay, you can choose either Eater of War or Searing Exarch, but then again, I will suggest Searing Exarch. Always transfer your maps to 20% and have them to like add rarity and at least 20% pack size. Okay, the reason we go for this top hat over here, which I will show you now, this top hat and this quantity circle. Okay, over here, like you can see like some rooftop skill tree being anointed, right? Plus this full circle here and this small little circle. The reason we take these two is because you want to have really good map sustain so that you can do it over and over and over and over again without having to trade players. Alright, this is going to be very efficient as compared to when you are not sustaining your maps at all. You have to always find a source of incoming maps that you would like to do. Let's say for example City Square, if you're not sustaining your maps at all, you will always have to constantly purchase, and purchasing this kind of popular maps, it's rather expensive, I would say. So let's say if one City Square maps maybe cost 5C, for example. Okay, I'm pretty sure you're not gonna purchase 28 City Square maps. Okay, 28 City Square means literally like 140 chaos. Okay, by map sustaining yourself, right, you are going to technically save this cost. And that's why map sustain is very important at a certain point of time in the league for you. So that is the whole purpose why this strategy comes around. Okay, because of the top hat, every single one of these mono is going to increase the effect modifier of your non-unique maps, which means your quant, your pack size is going to increase. And with the stacking of this quant, most of the time your connector or your favorite maps is going to drop. Okay, and yes, of course, with singular focus, only your favorite map is going to drop, so you can just repeatedly keep doing it. Okay, so I don't think I need to explain it further. Oh yes, and please take note that, please guys, when you are doing this strategy, you need to unlock at least 11 of your favorite map slots, everything except the fear. Okay, this is very important because the more map slots you unlock, right, it's gonna have 10% more chance to drop your favorite maps every slot you unlock. And that is why after 10, right, it's like 100% increased chance. And that's why if you have only unlocked 1 to 2 of your favorite maps, you will not see your favorite map drop. Alright, so yeah, the strategy is very simple. Upon entering the map, you just focus to kill the boss first before doing the rest of the map. This will basically eliminate the boss reward option from the altar, and then there will only be like player and minion option reward. So obviously you just choose the minion rewards because you want to stack as much things, as much rewards as possible. So for every Eldritch minion pack you kill, they will have a good amount of chance to drop that particular reward. Okay. So yeah, regardless of whatever content you're farming, essence is just super good profit. Alright, if you can complete it. Like I mentioned previously, just 2 or 3 essence is actually good enough for you to profit. Essence can be really strong, just beware, and if you are struggling from it, just run away. Okay, don't fight it. Don't struggle too much. Okay, one thing I want to emphasize is Legion is actually pretty bad for City Square. Okay, so if you want to continue do Legion, I would suggest Arto. Okay, because Arto has a really good layout for Legion at the center of Arto map, and most of the time Legion will actually spawn there. Okay, and it is the boss that is connected to the entrance of Arto is actually quite near. You just need to turn right, and it's probably less than probably 1/4 of the map that you do, you'll probably reach the boss already. And the other rest of the 3/4 of the maps is just fully yours with minion player rewards. Okay, so if you have additional points on your skill tree or you'd like to reduce some essence node, I would suggest to take the shrine nodes. Okay, shrine nodes are really good. There is no shrine nodes in this strategy. Okay, and the last one, growing hordes, pack size farming. This is probably the best thing that for those of you that have been playing last league, okay, you will know that this is really very good. Okay, it's ridiculously good. Okay, but this requires you to be at like your end game state because the monsters are going to be very strong. Alright, and you are going to take a lot of player option reward, which will basically make you more vulnerable. Okay, so yeah, just a little explanation. We're going to use these growing horde keystones, right? Okay, let me open up first, my bad. We're going to use these growing horde keystones to increase our overall pack size. So we can put a maximum of 4 rusted scarabs. That's going to give us 20% increased pack size. Okay, if you put polish, that's going to be 28%. But I personally feel rusted is enough. Up until the point where maybe polished scarabs are dirt cheap, then maybe if you want to use that, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, we are going to use them to make at least all our maps above 50%. Okay, so when making your map pack size above 50%, you have a very high chance to have 2 times the number of rare monsters. Okay, so how do we actually get 50%? I'll show you the maths. Growing hordes, 20% here, right? So 4 rusted scarabs. Next is shaping the valley. You're gonna have 10% more pack size. Okay, 10% more pack size. That is 30% already. And then your map, you're just going to roll them for at least 20% pack size over here. So 20 plus 10 plus 20, that's 50%. Okay, sometimes you might not accurately get 20%, you might get more than that. So this is like the bare minimum. I'm just like trying to put this as a benchmark or reference for you guys. Alright, so with the increased pack size, right, you know, we have more eldritch monsters, more outer rewards, just generally better sustain throughout the whole entire map. When I am doing this strategy previously, I had absolutely no problem sustaining map. In fact, I am actually over sustaining the map, which is a very good thing because those maps are going to be like popular maps such as City Square, Crimson Temple if you want to farm definition card as well, and that is really good. Okay, the only downside to this strategy, right, is the annoying part, which is you need to buy a whole bulk of rusted scarabs, and it can be really annoying. Okay, it can be really annoying. So yeah, generally you want to take the player reward option unless it's quite useless for you. Like sometimes there will be maybe let's say if you are doing City Square, then you might get the player option of divination cards might have a chance so and so to be duplicated. Like that's useless, right? So if it's useless, then maybe you can consider taking the minion portion. It's fine. And you gotta be very very careful because when you take the player option, the downsides to you, right, can actually be very 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 harmful, so you need to take note. Okay, so yeah, what do we profit in this strategy? Basically we are going to focus to get a lot of quantity from the player reward options and stacking them. You can stack them to a very high amount, like even more than 80% quant. Okay, and yeah, after completing the map, you just go back to basically either your harvest or your expedition. Harvest is going to give you tons of life force because of the chance that you get ×2 rare monsters. Expedition is going to give you more chance to drop more logbooks from the runic monsters because they are also rare monsters and they will duplicate. Last but not least, like why Eater of World and not Searing Exarch? So this round it is different. We are going to do Eater of World because Eater of World is going to give you more outer, which in return means you're going to get more player reward options, which in return means you're going to stack more con. Okay, so that's basically the high level overview of it, and that's why Eater of World over Searing Exarch. But of course, then again, if you want Searing Exarch, it is totally fine. Okay, it is totally fine. Last but not least, sorry, yeah, this is the last one. What other options are there to extra juice the maps? For harvest, I highly recommend 99%. I highly recommend to just buy this section. Okay, it might be a bit troublesome, but trust me, this duplicate life force is crazy. It's very crazy. If you actually see a harvest boss like the tier 4 plants or yeah, basically the mini boss, they have a chance to actually drop until 1000 life force. Okay, 1000 life force is quite crazy for a single drop. I have experienced that a few times and I think it's really very good. That's why only with the Sexton that will make this possible. So whatever it is, just purchase the blue or the purple plant ones. Do not purchase the yellow plants because the yellow plant Sexton is actually very expensive. Okay, for expedition, just buy the number of runic monsters marker. Sometimes it can be a bit expensive. It really depends on the late economy. So you gotta try and see if this is worth it or not. Of course, the next one is just use better scarabs. Polish, gilded. I don't really recommend gilded, but polish I think is fine. Okay, so again, I really highly recommend you to buy the harvest accent if you're actually doing this strategy. Okay, trust me, it's worth it. It's very worth it. Alright, so I will leave it for you guys to actually use all these strategies. If you have any question, you can always just hop by Discord, come onto my stream and ask how is actually the progression. If you need any help, please by all means just ask me. As long as possible, I will try my best. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.